Congratulations on making it to Graphic Design Lesson 1. Your first step is to find the Apps button, visit your Google Drive, and find the unbelievably awesome Google Drawing tool. So you'll notice I clicked New, I clicked More, and I clicked Google Drawings. When your Google Drawing launches, please name this one Lesson 1 and put your name after it. When you're done with that, you can head to the next piece of training. We log the cool things that we learn each day in our modules. So right now I would like you to click on your Google Docs page and find the Session 1 journal that we launched before we came to modules. When you've got it launched, make sure you have your module name in it. I use this for all the modules, but I'm going to change it to graphic design so it looks more sensible to you. And then as you work, I want you to label the day and the cool thing that you learned in your module as you go. So with that ready, let's go to Google Docs and let's add our first cool item. I would like you to click the rectangle tool, and I just want you to simply add a rectangle. When you add it, notice it is selected, and then I want you to change its fill color. I want you to change its border color. I want you to change the thickness of the border color lines. Notice how much better it shows up. Notice also that if I click here, toolbar's gone. If I click here, toolbar's back. I'd like you to also check out the dotted lines and just see all the different things you can do quickly on that tool. If you wanted to add this as what you learned today, you could, but there are going to be many more cool things that you'll see in the upcoming movie. Let's go back to that shape tool and let's add some fancier shapes. Pick whatever one you want. Make sure that each of them has a different color. Make sure that each of them has a different border. So you're just showing me that you have the ability to add all these shapes and borders. I'm going to switch back to the normal line types. You can fiddle with those. But before you move on, I want you to have at least 5 cool shapes that you've added onto your screen. With our at least 5 shapes added and colored, let's play with a new tool. Let's go to the callouts. You can see I already used one of these, but they are pretty cool. And let's color this with a different thing called a gradient. Gradients are awesome because it does a combination of the colors, which ends up being a really sharp technique. Notice your shapes have handles, so you can stretch them to whatever size you want and make them do all kinds of cool things. Notice this handle actually rotates it, so I can flip it. So explore all the different possibilities before moving on to the next training movie. Let's move to our next tool, the line tool, and there's lots of simple ones you can play with. I want to play with the scribble, and I'm going to put the word wow on top of my banner by simply writing wow. That one didn't stick, so I'm going to do it again. There it is. I can grab those pieces and I can stretch them and adjust them so they're exactly where I want. I can stretch it out so that my wow fits. And then this is kind of cool. When you've got that the way you want, you can make the line a different color. And like we showed you earlier, you can make it thicker. When you've got it all groovy, you can select all 4 pieces and you can group them. So now when you click somewhere else, you've created a cool banner that's got a word on it. Build something on your screen that's cooler than that, and then move to the next piece of training. Let's use the text box to put our name and hour on the page. Make sure you shrink it so it fits. Put it in the top right just like you would any other class. Pick a font that you think looks nifty. Pick a color for that font that you think looks awesome. Make one that you can see. That's a little bit light for me to see. You can also choose a size that fits better on your page too. I can shrink that so it's not taking up as much space. And then I'll move it over to that corner so that it looks really nifty. At this point, I am going to say that you have completed lesson 1. You've learned several cool tools. Make sure that you've written what you did for your graphic design journal. And then you may move on to the next piece of training.